Hey guys, welcome to this episode. Today we're going to paint a mirror. It is gray, but we have to change it to a pearl orange color that goes with Eclipse. Now you say, man, that's a lot of trouble to go through. Yes, but the thing is, I wish I could find one in the junkyard that matched, but I can't. Maybe you're in the same situation. So I went to the junkyard and bought one already. Now, could I have got a new aftermarket? Sure. It would have been 5 times more expensive. But here I am with this cheaper version. I've only spent $30. I've got a mirror. I've disassembled it. And it's sitting here. Now I'm going to take you through the process. This is just bare bones here. Starting from the beginning. Now, what do I have here? What's going on? What is happening? So here's what's happening. First thing we're going to talk about today is do not attempt any of this without a clean, good respirator. There you go. Now, I did get the medium size. I like mine to fit tight on my face, even though I'm probably more of a large. I don't expect any comments out of that. So anyway, I'm going to put this in. I like it to have that nice tight grip. But these are carbon filtered, and these are professionally made. I mean, they are made by 3M for people that spray paint or do any type of, dealing with like 2-stage paint, the aerosols that come with it. All this stuff is super deadly, super carcinogenic. If you breathe it in, it can do serious damage to your lungs. So even if you're just a regular basic person just grabbing some spray paint, Walmart sells a version of this. Go grab it. This is from our paint store, but whatever. You just get one. Don't use any aerosol without it. All right. Now, so we have our safety there. You also see that I have very clean gloves, and I also have more ready to go, because once we touch this and it's clean, we can't have any human oil, any type of contaminants on it, or the paint that we spent so much money for will ruin the, or our finger oil will actually ruin the paint, cause fish eyes, whatever the case is. Next, as you see, I already have a painted mirror and mount cover. These are both plastic, by the way. I have the red Scotch Brite, and basically this is what I'm going to use to scuff it. So I have paint adhesion, and then I'm going to use, you don't have to use this, but I'm going to be using the Sem Prep because it's also got a promoter in it. But you could, as long as this is clean, let's just get where we're at. As long as this is clean and it's scuffed good, you're going to be fine. You don't have to, that's something you don't have to have. You do not have to have this. Let's talk about the paint for a second. So there's different versions. You could probably get this online. I'll try to drop a link down below. But this comes from the paint store as well. This is clear coat with Hardner. So if you pay attention to the bottom, you see this right here? It's got a, there we go. So that's the buster right there. You put that on it and pop it, and it causes it to mix, and it's a hardener. Now, you don't have to use it all right away. There is a way to store this to get a little extra life out of it. I'll teach you that trick in the video back up to this one. Also, I took the paint code down. As you can see, it's a Mitsubishi MO3, and this is what it took to make it. They're way smarter than I am. I let people that mix paint for a living do it because it's just too much of a mess to try to figure out. But anyway, this is from Napa. Now, why did I get the spray can? Well, it's quick, it's convenient, it's cheap. 20-something bucks, and I've got the paint color I need, and I can't find this color in like duplicolor or wherever, so it's gonna have to be mixed. And if I had it mixed and I was gonna spray it, then I have to go through all the process with the hooking the compressor up, button the splitter, all the stuff that goes with it, and then on top of that, and then I'm gonna, might as well go ahead and buy the clear coat, and then when I get this, I'm gonna have to put other stuff to mix it. It just becomes, it's too much. This is so convenient. So this is how you professionally paint a car part when you need to and you're in a jam. Now, of course, a can isn't gonna cover an entire car by any means. It'll surely do this mirror and a little bit of touch-up I have left on this car. 20-something bucks. These right here about 25. Of course, you get your cleaner for almost nothing. And then these right here are probably 99 cents. And your mask, I'll put a link on those because I really think you guys need to be having a link on the mask. Anyway, So that's what we're going to be using today. Now, let's get into what we're going to do first. We'll take a good look at what we got here. I don't really see any damage, anything to speak of. I do see a lot of dirt and filth. All this is going to be important that this gets cleaned out, and not only does it get cleaned out, but it has to be super dry. We can see here on the mount, years of just sitting there. Yeah, tons of dirt on that. And also, if you noticed, we have a grease pencil up here. So we're going to have to take care of that because the paint will not cover that. That is definitely going to have to be painted over. I mean, cleaned off and then painted, but the paint will not stick to that. So we got to take care of that. All right, let me go wash her up and I'll come back and we'll do some Scotch Brighten. Okay, so the first thing I need to address is this grease pencil because I think this is going to be a problem with just regular soap and water. So one of my go-to tricks, a little bit of acetone. By the way, you can use acetone to make sure there's no grease on this before from your hands or whatever, and then use your gloves after that. You would actually be fine. But let's just see if we can get this off because this stuff is kind of nasty. This is what the junkyard uses. And to be honest, it's kind of a pain in the butt actually. Okay, but it does work. It does work. I hear a lot of people say, well, I never use acetone to wipe over top of my regular clear coat. You know, I always use it sparingly because this stuff has hardeners in it and the acetone can't do much with it. Now, if you had a paint that didn't have a hardener in it, like just something you're buying from Walmart or one of the little duplicolors, this right here would take the paint, the clear coat, and everything off of it. So you don't want to use acetone for something like that. But on a regular car paint that's got a hardener, you're good to go. And the reason is these things are designed to last for years and years and years. It's the process on how they paint them. That's in the adhesion and all that. And the hardener that's in the clear coat. Anyway, that worked. Give me a second. Let me go put some bubbles and scrubbing on this, and I shall return. Clean. Took a toothbrush. You can see inside that bad boy looking new. Got to make sure it's nice and dry. And I'm just hand wiping them right now to make sure that there's no dirt left on it. I'm going to give a shout out while I'm doing this to Giselle and her family who's busy doing car business today. One of our friends on YouTube, and their family does painting. So if we have any real serious questions, what we got to do is we just ask her. If she would just be so kind for her and her family to start a YouTube channel, then we could just go directly to her. But we'll work on that another day. Meanwhile, shout out to you, girl. Trying to do some paint, trying to make you proud. Don't show this to your dad. He'd be making fun of me. Alright, so let's see here. Okay, while I am drying this, let me go ahead and make a shout out to our friends in, how do you say it? Shiloh Springs, Arkansas. My friend, I call her Cardi G. They have a paint and body shop. Her dad's an amazing artistic body man / paint guy. And I'm sure if they watch this video, they're going to have to critique me. But I'm only telling y'all guys this, number one, to say hi to you, Giselle. But secondly, if you guys have some real professional help and you need some serious questions answered, I mean, they have the ability to mix their own paint. This guy can cut a car in half and put it back together. You wouldn't even know it. So there's always that guy. So we can always ask him anything we want to ask him. He's a cool cat, and he would be glad to help us. Meanwhile, as you see, we have it nice and clean. It's nice and shiny, but that's a bad thing, guys. We don't need nice and shiny. No. This is where we got our little scruffy pad. So we're just going to start scruffing away. Lord have mercy, the microfibers. Okay. And basically, we're trying to get a nice flat look. To give you an example, see how that's getting nice and dull? Okay, so we're gonna take, the first thing I want to do with this guy is make sure that we are 100% dust free. Does appear we are. Okay. And I'm gonna concentrate just on the outer edges right here because I'm gonna flip it over on its side. And the same thing with this little guy here. Make sure she's nice and dusty. Okay. I know what this looks like. Me shaking my can vigorously. The trick is to make sure the stuff is nice and mixed because it has different layers of metallics in it. So we don't want any of that stuff yeah, there we go. I don't want it not to be layered down correctly. So my first pass is I'm going to just go kind of close. No big deal. Alright, and we're just going to put a dust coat on it. Spin this little bad boy around. Good enough. Have to move this off a little bit so you can hear me, but we're spraying now, and you see this little dust coat doesn't take long for it to flash, and we're going to give it actually 3 coats, so that would be considered 1. This next one I'm going to pull off a little bit because I really want to layer those metallics down so they pull to the front when we put the clear coat on. Adam. Okay, that's our 2 coats, and we're gonna put one more on just for safety's sakes. Flashes pretty fast. Sorry for the muffled sound, it's just my voice inside the respirator. Okay, that's my final coat on the edges. Wouldn't hurt to go ahead and do this edge real quick. Of course, this requires a little bit of patience. Just want to point out, you see how it's dripping off the nozzle? That's why you never put the nozzle over top of the whatever you're painting. You see, it can drip off the end of this, and so we don't want that to happen. That's one drawback of using a spray can that I particularly don't like, but we should be able to cover it up and hide it with no problem as long as you're aware of it. this point, I'm going to start pulling them back a little bit further out because I need the metallics to rise a little bit. Okay, who says we go for one more just to say it looks good and make sure it's nice and even because of the daylight. This is a metallic. So let's see what we can do with one last little touch up. Okay, let's let it sit and flash, and then we'll come back and do the clear coat. Sound like a plan? Okay, guys, we have reached this. We've got this flashed. It's dried, or it's flashed anyway. We can put clear coat on it. Takes about 30 minutes for it to set. Now, here's how this works. It's got this little cap that sits on the inside of this. This is how you know if you have hardener for your clear coat. And you see the little tab on the bottom. And basically, we're gonna very easily kind of put that in there. Should be. Okay, so I took the red tab out. I'm going to stick it on top of here. And then I'm going to pop it on the floor. You can tell, I only did that because it's a little easier to do. See, it's kind of... get it nice and shook up. just want it to collapse it so it mixes, that's all. There's Hardner, and if you put it in, if they didn't have it separated, this stuff would take for, it wouldn't last that long on the shelf, and they couldn't sell it like this. That's kind of the escape route and being able to put clear coat. Alright, let's mask up and see what we can do, guys, boys and girls. Oops. Gotta be careful. Alright, let's see what we can do. Gotta give it a little flash time. We're going to let it flash for a little bit, and then we're going to come back and just finish it off with one last coat. Just for good measure. Okay guys, take a look. The metallics turned out perfect. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but that is a beautiful, beautiful color match. I cannot complain. I cannot complain. So that's how you do it, boys and girls. It's all you gotta do to make your day. Now we'll let this sit and cure, and then we're gonna install it on the car, and that is game over. Nothing but peace and love from the car man, baby. Give me a like or submit or something. Make me do some more or make me stop, but do something. I got to go. Bye.